Welcome back to the campus of Drury University here in Springfield. My name is Paul Gilmore, joined by Thomas Sanders. We have another girls gold ball game. This is the 5A gold ball game between the West Michigan Hornets and the CHAP Chariots. CHAP wins the tip. They're wearing their camo green uniforms. On the drive, that ball is going to be stolen, going the other way. West Michigan in their gray uniforms with the black numbers and red lettering. And that's going to be a blocking foul from Reeser. First foul for Annabelle Reeser.
Paul, you can already tell the tempo of this game is going to be much faster than the previous. These teams are already getting up and down the court. You can tell wanting to play in transition, push it, and yes, it should be a fast one.
Shot no good from West Michigan. And 3 of the 4 girls teams we've seen had at Drury today are from the Midwest Regional and are very familiar with each other, as the basket is good for Abby Lotzenheiser, the all-region player from the Midwest. On the turnaround, jumper is good for Vanderway. And this game is a track meet compared to the last one that we just watched. Reeser in the corner. Baseline drive. Before the pass could get thrown to the front, it's a turnover, as falling to the ground was Lucy Lotzenheiser. Had a chance to talk to Coach Reeser yesterday, and he mentioned that as they were the runner-up in their pool, they got to play West Michigan, and he was lamenting a little bit the fact that they've matched up so many times this year. These are very familiar foes from the Midwest meeting here at Nationals. And unfortunately, that's just kind of the way that it goes. You play who's in front of you. And if your teams from the same region are all the strongest teams, then you're going to see them at some point, even at Nationals.
And that's hard playing a team so many times, particularly when you're playing against them, because now they know your tendencies. They know the shots you like. They oftentimes know your offense. So, how do you throw new wrinkles? It's difficult. So sometimes you'll see these games be low scoring because the teams are very familiar with the things you do, even the tendencies of each player.
So Rodimer was the one who hit that last 3. She fires up another, and the net barely moved on that triple. She's got 6 quick points, and it's 8-2 West Michigan.
Rodimer is a seasoned guard. I remember watching her play last year, and she is heady. She plays with a lot of heart and really leads this team well. Really a strong point guard.
Rebound, Vanderway. Rodimer threw that pass before her teammate Bursley even quite knew what was happening, but then Bursley puts in the basket, or excuse me, that is Wyman who puts in the basket, and a quick 10-2 lead for West Michigan. And CHAP wants to take a 30-second timeout to talk about it.
Oh, I'd say we talked about tempo. West Michigan just put 10 points in 2.5 minutes. This should be a fast game, so CHAP's going to have to figure out how we're going to slow this team down a little bit.
So looking at the journey for each of these teams thus far, the West Michigan Hornets were the winner of Pool D. They beat the Aspire Trailblazers 66-28. They beat Dallas HSAA 51-49 in overtime, and they beat Thesa 57-53. Meanwhile, for CHAP Chariots, they were the runner-up of Pool B. They finished 2-1. They beat the Lincoln Eagles 54-32. They beat the Wichita Warriors 46-36, and then lost to the CHSM Crimson Knights 34-69. West Michigan, full court man pressure. Lotzenheiser working against Molly Hunt. She drives it all the way and gets another basket.
So she's got 2 now right at the rim. I think West Michigan's going to have to figure out how they're going to stop her dribble drive.
Look underneath. Is going to be stolen away. Lotzenheiser one-on-one against Rodimer. And a blocking foul and one as Lotzenheiser puts it in. They're going to call that foul on Rodimer. Thomas, those charge calls are always bang, bang. And in the heat of the moment, that time the referee called a blocking foul.
It's one of the hardest calls an official can make. I think they got that one right. the way one way it's been taught, I've heard, is that if you can if you're the offensive player and you hit them square on, it's a charge. If you can kind of clip them on one side or the other, oftentimes they'll give that a block call. But that head-on shot is a charge. Option 2 of that is if the defender's still moving. In that case, I think it was the latter. I think that defender was still moving and came up under her, which is why that was a block. I think it was a good call.
Think so as well. So now Molly Hunt getting it back up to Rodimer. Winner of this game is going to match up against the HEA Firebirds. And that time, the foul is going to be called. Ayers is going to go to the line. I think they called Lucy Lotzenheiser on the foul. And Thomas, we were just talking about this earlier. The winner plays HEA. So that means in that Final Four game, either way, it's going to be a Midwest matchup again.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game. And again, you're just seeing such clash of styles. We thought we had it last game. It's really about to be that with whichever team wins this game against HEA, because they're, HEA, we talked about it last game. 7 players, physically a big roster. They don't want to run. They want to slow it down. They want to work into Lily Williams. And then now both of these teams here, CHAP and West Michigan, it's a tempo game, right? They're pushing in transition. They're kicking out for three-pointers. They have a lot of guard play, strong guard play. And, it should be a battle. It's going to be an absolute battle, I think. I believe that's tomorrow night, is it not?
It is. So Ayers, another all-region player for West Michigan, connected on those 2 free throws. Wow, tough look underneath for Annabelle Reeser. Rodimer feeling it. Off left on that three-pointer. Lotzenheiser rebound.
Lotzenheiser is a good athlete. Look at her run, jump, get rebounds. And right now, CHAP has scored, I believe, every field goal on the exact same spot. That right block has gone, I think they're 5 for 5 thus far here in the first quarter.
You talked about the athleticism of Lotzenheiser. Last year on this exact court, she had a quadruple-double game.
Huh. Wow. Was that with steals or blocks? How did she get the 4th?
I'm not sure. I wasn't on the game, but I was sitting over here behind us, and I remember watching it and just hearing the crowd go crazy. And based on that, it might have been blocks.
Might have been blocks. For those who may not know, quadruple-double would be double digits. Typically, you see it in points, rebounds, and assists. Oftentimes in the NBA, for those who may watch, you see Nikola Jokic get a lot of them, James Harden, previously Russell Westbrook. There have been very, very few recorded quadruple doubles. Being a Houston fan, one of ours, I know, Paul, you are as well, the Rockets. Our own Hakeem Olajuwon did one back in the 90s, I believe.
He did. I was going to bring that up, but you had listed several already that were great. So
yeah, Olajuwon, I think he had his with blocks. So you most often see with points, rebounds, assists, and block shots.
Second attempt is good for Miebert as Keelan Miebert gets on the scoreboard, and the Hornets continue to light up the scoreboard. Meanwhile, Lotzenheiser has been a one-man wrecking crew. That time the left-hand runner is good from Jasmine Hall.
CHAP on quite a run after that timeout. Came down 10-2 and fought back in this game.
On the drive, that right-hand runner no good. Rebound Lotzenheiser quickly pushing the pace. Through the defense, lost the handle on it, going the other way. Substitutions for CHAP. Lucy Lotzenheiser and Lainey Grihorish check back in. So despite the quick start from Rodimer behind the arc, it is still just a 2-point game off of the baskets from Lotzenheiser.
You got to like the ball movement you're seeing from West Michigan. They are patient. They're working. I would hope and anticipate they're going to get a good shot on this possession.
CHAP's doing a good job staying low defensively, challenging everything around the perimeter.
West Michigan content to pass, to work it. Now, Paul, look, this may be a controversial topic, and I may be one-sided, but I'm one of the guys in favor of adding a shot clock to the high school game. As much as you love to see that offense and the unselfishness, there's a point to me that thinks for the tempo of the game is helped by a shot clock. It doesn't have to be the same as what you see in the pros. You could make a case be a 35 or maybe a 40-second shot clock. But that'd be my opinion. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm in agreement with you. I know logistically it would be really challenging for some venues to retrofit their gym with the shot clock, as that shot no good from CHAP. But I think also it hurts the development of the players. I think if you're a player that, and granted it may not be a lot, as the shot is put in by Lucy Lotzenheiser to tie the game at 14, I think if you're a player that's looking to play at the next level, you get accustomed with a shot clock to already know what to do at the next level. You don't have to make an adjustment to stop, having a 40, 50-second, 1 minute, a minute and a half possession on offense. You can accustom yourself to just know and start training yourself for when you know that you've got to get a shot up.
When I tell you, I agree with you, and I tell you where you see that, Paul, is and when you see these late clock situations where you're shooting maybe what would be a 4 shot in other places, but all of a sudden now it's something you can actually shoot. It's not a 4 shot. A last second, 5 seconds left, we got to do a high pick and roll or a shot that you've worked on the gym that may look like a force.
Speaking of a force, Rodimer connects with her third triple of this quarter. 30 seconds to go. And then a block the other way. Saved by CHAP. Great hustle from these young ladies.
This game is an absolute track meet right now. This is up and down, up and down.
This is about the halftime score for the game we had last game.
Exactly it, actually. Yes, it is.
Lotzenheiser working one-on-one against Hunt. Spins to her right, flips it up, no good. Rebound is going to be a jump ball. Good job by Quist to get in on that. And last thing I'll say about the shot clock, Thomas, I believe some states have individually decided to have a shot clock. I think Indiana is a state that has a high school shot clock.
Birthplace of basketball.
But it's just not at the federal level yet. And there's not really, I guess, a federal federation for high school basketball, but they're kind of leaving it up to each state.
And I think it's good for the game. And like you said, the thing that I would say is as much on the development, not only about playing.
Rodimer from deep. Ooh, good look at it, but that's going to go off the backboard.
So you're right. The playing of it is like, hey, we're going to be playing this at the college level. That's development side. But even beyond that, you have players work on situations in games like, hey, you're going to do a move or a high screen or something that would have effect to that. But then you never get to use that skill set, or rarely, maybe 4 times a game. At the end of a quarter, you get to see those situations. Whereas in a shot clock, you get that 10, 15 times a game where late clock situations occur, and you can work on and shoot and practice a shot that has to be put up regardless. So I think for the development of young players, it should happen at junior high and high school level, and maybe you make it longer. I do recognize the cost that you're putting up there's logistics involved with who's going to operate that and how that's going to be set. But I think for the gameplay, it's certainly a benefit.
I think so, too. And not that this game necessarily needs a shot clock.
Nope,
we have a 17-14 first quarter game here in this gold ball game. 5A gold ball that saw the West Michigan Hornets take a 17-14 lead over the CHAP Chariots, primarily off of the three-point barrage of Rodimer. She's got 3 in the first quarter to lead the Hornets with 9. Meanwhile, Abby Lotzenheiser right there with her. She's got 8 to lead the CHAP Chariots.
Well, and Rodimer's threes weren't just walk in the park kind of shots. These are dribble up, 22-foot shot jumpers that she nailed. So, if you're CHAP right now, you don't want to see that, because now if she gets rhythm shots, she's not making easy shots right now. So if she can keep this rhythm up, it's going to be difficult to stop her.
Second quarter underway. Lotzenheiser spins to her left, spins back right, flips it up off the backboard. Tough angle, and it rolls in. Double figures now with 10 points for Abby Lotzenheiser. Ayers. Fake the handoff to Rodimer. Euro step. Flipped up underneath. Good-looking shot from Wyman. That's her second basket.
Yeah, very difficult move in traffic. Had that, as you mentioned, that right-left Euro step to finish. Tough shot.
Looking to post Lotzenheiser down low. She's triple teamed, puts it up, no good, to the right of the rim. Rodimer quickly the other way. Up ahead, Vanderway. Might have been denied by Lotzenheiser, but on the second attempt, throws it over the rim. And then we're going to have a foul 94 feet from the basket. And that's on Hunt. That's her first foul. Substitution for CHAP. Grace Hitchcock checks in. Reeser. Lotzenheiser. Reeser working against Vanderway. Spins back out top. That is almost intercepted. We're going to have a jump ball between Ayers and Lotzenheiser. The possession arrow is in favor of West Michigan.
Glad everybody's okay. That was a hard hit.
It was. You never like having headphones on and still hearing somebody's body part hitting the floor.
No.
Nice play for Ayers. Her first field goal, but she's got 4 points in the game. 5-point advantage once again for West Michigan. Lotzenheiser loses the handle. Going the other way, West Michigan. Rodimer, eyes up, surveying the court. On the right side, Ayers three-pointer. Too strong. Offensive rebound, Vanderway gets another look at it. Ayers floats it up. That rims in and out. And then coming the other way, we're going to have another jump ball. And these ladies are really battling for each possession.
You know, Paul, I'll say this, credit West Michigan, their offense, as I'm watching them kind of seeing and feeling their rhythm. They don't force a lot of shots. Like they're letting this offense run. They have this, circulation on the left side, not really following exactly yet, but there's a lot of cutting, passing, weaving, and they wait to get the shot they want almost every possession. About the only shots that might even be questionable will be the threes that Rodimer's already banged down. So other than that, they run a very disciplined offense.
Nice backdoor cut for Reeser. Annabelle Reeser gets on the scoreboard. Rodimer is going to fire it up off the right-hand side, and then Ayers on the offensive rebound. She's fouled. They call that foul on Lucy Lotzenheiser. That's her second. Substitutions for both teams. Riley Bursley checks in for CHAP. Strong move from Naomi Wyman. She's had a couple of those inside looks now. She's got 6 points, and the lead is 5.
Yeah, she's an athletic girl. Quick first step. We saw it on the Euro step a few possessions ago, and then there, just a strong right-hand drive. Very athletic move.
Baseline drive, far kick. Reeser. Very active hands from West Michigan. Ayers with the steal. Now Ayers on the drive, gets behind the defense, puts it up, and is fouled. That's going to be a foul on Bursley.
And there you see West Michigan push in transition, high pick and roll, drive by Ayers. It's like every time they're getting shots they want. Good shots. They play like a team that's been together for a while.
Ayers connects on the first. And I'm not sure how long these girls have played together, but I can tell you it is a decent amount of time.
We saw a lot of this team play last year, and many of these girls are recognized from that championship game last year, was it not?
The West Michigan Hornets were in the championship game last year. Lotzenheiser has it poked away, but it ends up back with CHAP. And then on the kick pass, that's going to be thrown out of bounds. Another substitution. Hunt checks back in. 4:21 to go in the second quarter. West Michigan with a 25-18 lead in the 5A gold ball game. Cross-court pass. Rodimer for three. That's another one.
That's what we were talking about. If Rodimer can hit 3 for 3 on pull-ups, what's she going to do on catch and shoots? And we just saw it. He's dropped 4 triples this half. CHAP's going to have to make an adjustment on her quickly.
And the Hornets faithful are fired up, including Coach Rodimer. Coach Rodimer pound the floor to try to encourage her girls to get into their defensive stances. Rodimer up ahead to Wyman. Spins, kicks it back out. Rodimer's going to fire it deep, short. A little bit of a heat check from Rodimer.
In that last possession where Rodimer hit that 3, it was a set play. They brought Wyman over the top of the key. I don't know if you saw that. It came off a double screen. Faked that she was going to pass to the corner. Meanwhile, Rodimer came behind the whole play. Wyman faked right, skipped pass left, which set that whole thing up. So a really nice set that West Michigan Hornets just executed on there. If you're a coach, you drew that up. That's exactly what you want to see happen.
And you can tell it was designed by the way that Wyman picked up the dribble and spun and skipped it across the court. Rodimer working against Lotzenheiser, and they're going to whistle Lotzenheiser for the foul. That's her first.
So if you're CHAP, that's a frustrating foul because Rodimer has nowhere to go. She's already picked up her dribble. She's walking. If you just keep your hands up, Lotzenheiser's 6 inches taller. She has nowhere to go.
First free throw is no good from Rodimer. Second on the way, and that one is good. First point that's not a three-pointer for Rodimer. Working the ball back to Lotzenheiser. She drives left. Good look underneath for Lucy, but she's going to be called for an offensive foul.
So we talked about this earlier in the broadcast, those bang-bang plays. Remember, she got an and one in her favor on a similar play in the first quarter, and this one goes against her. So it's sometimes difficult to tell, particularly a player like her who's so aggressive. She initiates contact. I mentioned that with Lily Williams as well. And they're hard to officiate. And sometimes it's where, we had the benefit of sitting right here, but these referees are watching all these actions play out in real time. So that's a tough call.
Then Lotzenheiser gets the block going the other way on Ayers. Not the tallest player on the court, but Lotzenheiser has got a lot of length and a lot of athleticism.
Very good athlete.
That time West Michigan gets the jump ball and gains back another possession. Ayers, top of the key, works it over to Quist. This time Hunt on the drive. That's going to be an air ball. Might have been deflected. CHAP quickly coming the other way. Skip pass. Hall, baseline drive. Going to be intercepted by Rodimer, and then she's going to be fouled by Lucy Lotzenheiser. And that's going to be the third on Lucy. I believe that's also going to be the 5th team foul on CHAP, so that's going to put West Michigan at the line. And that's going to be a timeout on the floor. And it's going to be a full timeout, so we'll take a brief intermission and come back right after this. Back at Drury University. Minute 53 left in the second quarter. Rodimer hits the free throw. She's got one more.
She's put together quite a half now. 13 points, I think?
Offensive rebound, Vanderway. Good job by Hunt to corral that pass. She drives it in and puts it off the backboard. Molly Hunt.
Brilliant use of her body. She drove in, and then before she even shot the layup, used her lower body to clear space to finish. Big-time finish for Hunt.
And that's now a 14-point lead for West Michigan.
If you're CHAP, you're trying to close this thing down to single digits before the half. Good look.
Three-pointer on the way. Off the front rim, no good. On the offensive rebound, Reeser hits the triple.
Huge shot. Got this thing down to 11, try to get a stop, and one more bucket.
They do get a stop as Rodimer can't connect on her deep triple. Hall coming the other way. She spins, puts it up and in.
Just what the doctor ordered. Now we got it down to 9.
Nice take from Jasmine Hall. 5 quick points from CHAP. Can they close the gap even further? Under a minute to play in the first half. Reeser defending against Rodimer. 4 high, West Michigan.
West Michigan ones are very disciplined offense.
Hunt firing up a 3. That's no good. Offensive rebound, Vanderway. She throws it long. Rodimer saves it, but saves it right to Reeser. Reeser's going to pull the 3. No good. In and out. That would have been a huge bucket for CHAP. Instead, we'll see if West Michigan will hold for the final shot. They're going to go ahead and fire it up, and that's short. Rebound to Reeser. I don't know if she knows there's 6 seconds left. Now she does. Comes down the court. Inside look for Lotzenheiser at the buzzer off the front of the rim. And that's going to be how we end the first quarter or first half of play. The West Michigan Hornets lead 32-23 over the CHAP Chariots. Second half action and more to come after the intermission.
When it hurts, real time it. When it hurts, real time it.
Back underway at Drury University, the O'Reilly Family Event Center. Paul Gilmore alongside Thomas Sanders in the girls' 5A gold ball game between the West Michigan Hornets and the CHAP Chariots. In the first half, West Michigan took a 32-23 lead, primarily because Jaden Rodimer had 14 points. Meanwhile, Lotzenheiser has 10 for CHAP.
Yeah, Rodimer opened up with, I think, 2 or 3 pull-up three-pointers and buried another off the catch and shoot, so a really hot start for her.
And Lotzenheiser blocked Rodimer on that drive, and then good sportsmanship to help her up. Hunt drives the lane. And then Meebert is going to be called for the double dribble. On the drive. Somehow got it to her teammate, Lucy Lotzenheiser. And then that ball was ultimately unable to be saved. And that's going to be a turnover heading to West Michigan. Good effort from all those ladies to try to corral that ball. But nothing going so far for either team.
Yeah, CHAP did a good job. They were down as much as 15 points in this game, so closing it down to single digits before the end of the half.
Rodimer trying to pick up where she left off. Left that three-pointer just short. Almost fired it up again. Instead looks inside. Nice no-look feed for Meebert.
What a pass by Rodimer. Drew the defense, the second defender, then just dumped it off for a layup.
Lotzenheiser, top of the key, spins right. Too strong, and then on the offensive putback, it's going to be a foul on Ayers.
You see that often, Paul. The defender, they foul, and they leave their hands up to show the ref. The challenge is that I think what many defenders don't, and which the referee is explaining to Ayers right now, is that once you come down with your hands, doesn't matter what the offensive player does, then all of a sudden you're in her shooting space. Therefore, it's a foul. And it doesn't have to be much. If your hands are at an angle at all, it's a foul. It takes a discipline to keep those hands all the way back up. And it's hard for a young player and any player really to understand that. And just it's nature. Do you want to come down and try to block that shot? So a good call by the officials.
Lotzenheiser goes 1 of 2 from the line. Hunt in the near corner, gets it up to Wyman. And we're going to have an offensive foul going the other way. I think they caught Miebert for clipping on the screen. Thomas, I know fundamentally one of the things you coach is that on a screen, as soon as contact is made, you can no longer move. And
it's hard to get players to do that. And, oftentimes the fault of that is the guard, Paul, that's not pushing their defender into the screen. So the big who's setting the screen often want to make contact. They know that's their job. So if it's not there, they slide up. Therefore, you get a moving screen. Whereas if you can train the guards to really ride their defender into the screen, that'll help the big guy not get the fouls. Just like I talked on the last broadcast, if you allow your guard to be hit time after time after time without communicating, that's oftentimes a recipe for to get a big guy in big trouble. So same thing here. If they'll communicate on how that screen goes, and the guards are going to push them into you, you can avoid those illegal screens, but it takes communication.
And that last shot was made by Grace Hitchcock. And then on the drive by Hunt, no good. A second chance, no good. Ayers the rebound. Rodimer uses the Miebert screen. Good defense from Lotzenheiser into Miebert, but she couldn't connect on that one, and it will go back to CHAP.
Tell you what, Rodimer, again, we saw it a second ago for an assist. There maybe could have been an assist, but draws the defense and a beautiful little hook pass. She couldn't quite convert, but she's doing a great job of drawing the defense and just kicking off for easy layups. It feels like West Michigan's up more than just 8. It's just an 8-point game. So if you're CHAP, you have to feel good about that. I don't think we've seen them play their best game yet.
Reeser spun left, couldn't connect on that shot. Rodimer quickly the other way. Ayers drives baseline, puts it up and in.
Tough shot.
And then nearly stolen on the inbounds, and it is going to be a turnover back to West Michigan.
Here's West Michigan going back in their offense. I really have enjoyed watching how well they execute. Not a lot of forced shots from West Michigan.
A lot of patience. Vanderway, pump fake.
Many of their possessions, Paul, they're getting 8-10 passes before a shot. Probably not the one they're looking for right there.
No, Kylie Quist off the side of the backboard. CHAP looking for some answers on the drive. Hall off the backboard, a little too strong. Rodimer the rebound. Up ahead, Quist. Thought about taking the three in transition. Rodimer always thinking about taking the three, and you can see why.
Rodimer with ice water. Man, tough shot. Pump fake, step back, buried, and that was behind the college line. That's a 22-foot shot she just knocked down.
I wonder how much tape Rodimer has seen on Caitlin Clark.
That was a classic Caitlin Clark shot there, was it not? Man.
Rodimer up ahead, good look, finds Vanderway. She loses the handle, but it's going to go back to CHAP.
So, Paul, I watched her play 2 games at this tournament last year, this time last year, and I don't know what she did in the offseason, or maybe I'm seeing a great game, maybe a combination. She looks like a different player than what I saw last year. She shot it well, but now, even watching her now, she's delivering in the half-court offense on the little kickouts. She's hitting transition passes, hitting shots off the catch, off the dribble. I mean, really a complete point guard. I'm impressed. She to me, it looks like she could play college ball here if she wanted to play on. She's really showing some good stuff here tonight.
And she had some of those big shots in the Undisputed last year against HEA. As a matter of fact, I remember one of them was about where that Panther logo ends. She hit a couple from there.
And it's some of the things I'm seeing are maybe not as obvious, right? Like we're seeing the shots that she's knocking down. But the way she's like right now, when I catch her, when she's catching the ball, just watch her eyes. Her eyes are going up even before she puts the balls down. You see that in pretty advanced guard play. It's like not even wasting a split second on it. When she's driving, her eyes are on teammates. She's starting to watch cuts and second defenders and dropping stuff off. That's how she's hit those 2 assists in the half court. So from a pretty advanced stuff that I'm seeing from a distribution standpoint to her teammates. She's not a big player. I wouldn't say she's exceptionally athletic. But her skill level, there you see it again. 1 pass delivery, and look what her team gets, a transition jump shot. So she's the engine right now that's cooking this West Michigan.
She is. Meanwhile, on the other end, Lotzenheiser got a couple of offensive rebounds and ultimately the putback. And then on the defensive end, she grabs the rebound over here as well, and she's fouled. So she's doing what she can to keep CHAP alive. They're still down 11, 2:34 left to go in the third quarter. And now they're doubling her, essentially, at the high post. West Michigan faithful fired up about their team's defense. Cross-court pass, Hall for 3, over everything. Saved by Rodimer. Ends up back in the hands of West Michigan. Hunt. She loses the handle on it as she was going up.
Tell you what, Hunt has the green light for West Michigan. She'll put him up. She's got a good release, but she's not afraid to shoot it.
And I can't help but wonder if some of that last play was affected by Lotzenheiser being the defender.
Yeah, she's active, isn't she? Man, she shot blocking, like you mentioned earlier, she's not exceptionally tall, but athletic and has really good timing.
Hall on the drive, stop and pop jumper, hits the back iron and pops out.
So look at, as Rodimer's coming up, watch her eyes. Right as the point, it's what you want. She's looking up first and it kind of reads and look at the finish. I mean, good gracious. But it's happening because now she's split this defense so many times in transition passes. They're worried about what's happening, so now the lanes start open up a little bit.
We're going to give her a 9.7 out of 10 difficulty on that one.
Easily.
If it weren't for the French judge. But that high degree of difficulty for Rodimer. She knifed through the defense, put it up high, flipped it down low, off the backboard, tough angle. It's been the Rodimer show so far here in this quarterfinal.
May have tweaked her ankle on that injury, Paul. She's limping a little bit on that right ankle. I see she has a brace on it as well. Hopefully nothing substantial. This can be walked off.
Lotzenheiser misses the first free throw. Tightening up the shoe a little bit.
Just really impressed with her development. You know, sometimes you'll watch players and you'll see them from year to year, and it looks like something similar. A lot of these girls you and I called games with last year, and many of them have improved. With her, I'm seeing leaps and bounds, and not just in shot making that's clear, but in the decisions, in the small things, the intangibles that are hard to teach.
Lotzenheiser goes 0 for 2, but then on the offensive rebound, Hall gets the rebound, and I think they're going to call Ayers for the foul. And that's going to be the 4th team foul.
So Rodimer called for a sub. That ankle may be bothering her more than we had hoped. Now, CHAP, you have an opportunity to capitalize, certainly not on an injury, but she takes a little break. And so if you want to try to close this window, it would be wise to do this while Rodimer's out. And as we're watching her, maybe a cramp, not an ankle, as she's stretching out on the sideline there.
So Hall misses off the backboard on the first free throw. Thomas, if you ever in the middle of a game got cramps or during training, what was your go-to? You going pickle juice? You going
Salt,
banana?
yeah, no, they had these little packets of salt that we would take and then stretching it. The thing is, it's hard. Is it in game? Even if you stretch it, it doesn't really go away. So like if she comes back in, it's still going to be present, which is it's always a little bit scary because you don't know when it's going to happen again. At least that was my experience with them. It's not fun.
They're going to say that ball was off of the CHAP Chariots. Just a minute to play. In the third quarter, I should say. And Ayers puts it in off the backboard. Quickly back the other way. CHAP. Reeser. Baseline. Looking inside for Hitchcock. And it's going to be Lucy Lotzenheiser. Left it short. Hunt up ahead.
Excellent lead pass by Hunt.
No good from Meebert. Track meet, Hitchcock up ahead. Ayers the defender, and she throws it top of the backboard. Just misjudged the angle.
Yeah, I don't think she didn't know where she was at. I think she thought she had more distance than what she did, and she looked up and realized she was underneath the goal. You can tell she's a little frustrated with herself. Those are hard plays. You're running, like you said, it was a track meet. All of a sudden she catches like, oh, I'm right here. Put it up quick.
18 seconds to play in the third quarter. They got Hunt on the backdoor play, and she muscles it up and in.
Tough finish for Hunt.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Jasmine Hall has the ball in the corner, stripped away by West Michigan, and that will do it. 8 minutes left to determine who continues on in our gold ball series. Right now it's West Michigan 45, CHAP Chariots 28. Fourth quarter action up right after this. Eight minutes left to crown a 5A gold ball winner. Right now it's looking all West Michigan. We'll see if CHAP Chariots have something to say about that. Jaden Rodimer is back in the game after she took some time off in the third quarter. Lotzenheiser starts the fourth quarter strong.
That's how she opened the game, attacking the rim, and that is tough to stop. If she'll keep attacking the rim, that's the way.
Three-pointer on the way. Short. On the run-out, CHAP has it. Reeser.
So you're down 15 in the fourth. You have, if you're CHAP, you've got to be assertive. First good look, you take it.
And Lucy Lotzenheiser gets it to Abby. She's going to fire up a triple. No good off the right side, but offensive rebound, Lotzenheiser. Stolen by Hunt. Ayers to Rodimer.
Good to see Rodimer back in the game after that cramping issue.
That three no good from Quist. A couple of ladies hit the floor. Rodimer underneath has it taken away. Last touch by West Michigan. They're going to give the ball to CHAP. Substitution. Morgan Foster checks in for West Michigan. Jasmine Hall, strong take from her left side. No good. You can hear the West Michigan sideline saying under control. They want to make sure their girls are not losing composure. They have a 15-point lead, but that can change in a hurry. And we're going to have a foul underneath the basket. I think they're going to call that on Lucy Lotzenheiser. That's her fourth.
Yeah, if you're West Michigan in this game right now, there shouldn't be no forced shots. It should be. Like we talked on earlier. You don't have to air the ball out, but you work your offense. You never force. Push and transition when you get the opportunity, but you're in control. You're up 15 in the fourth. It's your game to lose at this point.
Ball up ahead, out to Rodimer. Decides not to use the air screen. Foster crosses to her left, finds Vanderway underneath. That shot's going to be blocked by Lotzenheiser. Quickly the other way, all the way to the basket. A little too strong.
Lotzenheiser is a force coming to the rim.
And she took that ball the full length of the court by herself and still got a good look at it.
Yeah, she's fast, she's strong, just a little bit on that one. Kind of little, not on, I want to say out of control, but just maybe too much speed coming to the rim there.
Ayers, free throw line jumper, no good. Defensive rebound. Hall coming the other way on the left side, working against Ayers, flips it up and in.
You hate to see that. It looks like we have an ankle injury on the landing of that layup.
So Hall is able to get up relatively quickly, and she heads towards her bench. Thankfully, the trainer here at Drury is also right behind where that play was, so Hall will get seen and looked at. Rodimer talking to Ayers as she comes up the floor. That time the shot kind of wild from the Hornets, but Miebert there to clean it up. Grihorash, no good.
West Michigan falling back in this offense. We're hoping for, if you're a West Michigan fan.
Wow.
Difficult finish from Hunt. Possibly not the shot she was maybe anticipating, but nonetheless, tough finish.
Yeah, and that's not going to be a 17-point lead with 4:27 left to go. And Thomas, you were talking about right before that last shot that if you're West Michigan, you want to make sure that you don't have any kind of wild shots. They've taken a couple. Again, no harm, no foul so far, but Hunt was able to connect on that one. But, again, just a high degree of difficulty shots when really they should be milking the clock, but things are working out okay.
Well, same thing, and there's a balance. Like, Molly Hunt is an interesting player because she's super aggressive. I would say shoots some questionable shots, but has the ability to create things for herself and her teammates, like we just saw there. On defense, Naomi Wyman also, gambling for steals that created a transition play. So she's so athletic that it's a habit of hers and theirs. And so there's a balance there between reining in something that is working for you and then also playing with composure. And again, we've talked on this a couple of times as broadcast, but like Paul, you and I both mentioned, we're fans of you playing your game. I don't think we're suggesting that. Maybe just using a little bit more discretion on offense and on defense, knowing that, hey, you're competing for a national championship here. You're up 17, 4.5 to go. You are in a rush for nothing at this point if you are West Michigan.
Yeah, you don't have to force anything. They've shown from their offensive discipline that they're able to get some good looks.
Yeah, and they got Rodimer, who right now is controlling the tempo of the game. So get the ball in her hands, let her run your offense, shoot your first good shot. The game gets pretty simple at this point.
Then Reeser on the other side. No good, flipping it to the right. And it's going to be a jump ball called, going in favor of the Hornets. CHAP applying a little bit of full court pressure. And Coach Rodimer is going to take a timeout. I'm sure she's going to have a conversation with her ladies, give them a quick reminder of their press break that they want to run.
Well, I think she was also getting worried about a 10 count. They were back in that backcourt playing for, it seemed pretty close to 10 seconds there and didn't want a turnover, giving CHAP possession on their end of the court. Although it seems unlikely, this game is still in play. You're 17. There's a lot of time left. I think that was a wise call by West Michigan.
And we are exactly at the halfway point. 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. 17-point lead for the West Michigan Hornets. As things currently stand, they would get a rematch of last year's undisputed game against HEA Firebirds tomorrow night.
That will be a battle, and what to be interesting about that game, should it end up playing out that way, is such a conflict in styles. Like we talked about a little bit earlier, but now you're going to see, West Michigan who's pretty up tempo, very controlled offense, versus HEA, which just slows this thing down, works in the post with Lily Williams. So again, it should be a great game. If the results stay as is currently. And
CHAP doing a good job being a lot more aggressive out of that timeout. We mentioned this in one of the earlier games. You have the ability to gamble a little bit more, knowing that eventually you're going to have to foul anyways if you want to have a chance. And so you're not afraid to take a few extra chances that you wouldn't normally as a defender.
You have to at this point. Like, you're down 17, so the game gets pretty simple. You got a pressure on defense, and you take first good look on offense.
West Michigan, meanwhile, has done a really good job handling that pressure all game long. When you have a guard like Rodimer, that makes it easy.
So like we talked about, Molly Hunt. So you love players like this who are assertive and aggressive and who push the issue. Right there, you might like to see her, hey, let's pull that shot out a little bit. We're up 17. We don't need it. But, you give players like that a little bit of leash because they give you such good things. But at times, maybe a little bit of discretion on a shot like that would be wise.
Inside, they work the post to Lotzenheiser, just short on that connection. She's got 19 on the game to lead the CHAP Chariots. And then steals it coming the other way. They've got a 3-on-1. Lotzenheiser. Hitchcock. Yes.
Lotzenheiser creates problems on both ends. Gets a good shot, rebound, steal, and then drops it off for an assist.
That pass underneath was tipped and deflected. Substitution as Vanderway will check back in for the Hornets. That's going to be read and intercepted by Grihorash, and she's going to go the full length of the court and a little bit too strong. Rodimer and Lotzenheiser hit the floor up ahead. Reeser, Vanderway chasing. That's going to be denied, but it will stay with the CHAP Chariots.
What a hustle. You love that as a coach. Don't give up on the play, even up 15. Run back, and then look, you're rewarded with a block shot to save your team a bucket. Huge play for Vanderway.
30-second timeout, 2:28 left in the game. 49-34. Thomas, I know you mentioned talking about first good look. I think that's a good way to look at it. A lot of times players will think, we got to jack up some threes. But I like the idea, maybe that phrasing, that concept of first good look.
Yeah, that's a thing we've talked on to different teams I've played on, because you don't want to force a shot, even down. It's first good look, and that's different for different player. Certain players, that may be a dribble up three. If you're Rodimer, that may be a dribble up three for next guy, and so there's discretion. Most times on teams, people know what a good look is within their role, and so that's a term that we've used on different teams. And so if that's a dribble drive attack, if that's an open three, if that's a rhythm three, but first good look is what CHAP needs to be getting right here. You got to try to close this thing down piece at a time.
On the inbounds, they get it to Reeser. Nice inbounds play to Hitchcock for three. Can't connect, but got a good look at it.
That was a good shot. That's what they wanted.
Rodimer up ahead to Hunt. Hunt spins, drives to the basket, gets it back out. Good job from the Hornets to handle that pressure, moving the ball quickly, making things difficult for the Chariots defense, wearing them out. Vanderway had the look underneath to Wyman had she seen it. Instead, that's going to be tipped up ahead. Reeser corrals it. Rodimer, great job knocking the ball, but not before she hits on the arm of Reeser as well.
So, Paul, if anyone listening to these last two games has learned anything about the opinions that you and I share, it would be that we don't love the airing out of the basketball, and it seems like every time we start talking about it, it ends up in a turnover and a basket for the opposite team. It is a dangerous game to play, and I know at this point it's unlikely that CHAP can close this deficit, but even saying that, it's like you play your game. I'm not saying you rush, but you still work your offense. In this one, it's like everything changes, and the mentality is hard for an offensive player. Like, I don't know. It just seems like pretty consistent at this point.
Good move from Lotzenheiser. She continues her offensive onslaught.
You know, one thing I'd share on that, Paul, I know people see this work happening on TV and such. One difference is that, you know, we're watching 15 and 17-year-old players. When you're seeing this happen at an NCAA level or sometimes even an NBA level, the guard play is so prolific that they can do that because the ball handling is so good and the defense maybe doesn't match that same level. But here, the players haven't developed as much yet to that level, and so it's a harder game to play.
That time Lotzenheiser steals the inbound. Meanwhile, Hunt steals it back. And then Reeser is going to be called for the foul. Foster's going to check in for West Michigan. Timeout going to be called by West Michigan.
Smart timeout. She saw her point guard was trapped, nowhere to go. Saved themselves a possession right there.
13-point game, a minute and 20. So, Thomas, you mentioned unlikely but not impossible. So, for the CHAP Chariots sideline, beyond just more of the same, hey, let's try to get some stops and some first good looks, is there really much more you can do?
Well, Paul, I mentioned that at 240. At 120, I'm not feeling as confident. But what you do, look, you want to give yourself any chance you can. I think at this point you got to foul, and you're kind of winging a prayer at this point. Like I think it's you're hoping that West Michigan misses free throws, and then you are in a spot now where you're basically pushing for maybe not even first good shot. You may be looking at first shot. You're down 13, 120. I think it's got to be a quick foul and then get a shot up pretty quick.
That's going to be a turnover of some kind, whether a backcourt violation or out of bounds.
So the ball pressure worked. So now if you're a CHAP, you're basically looking to pass and go to the rim is what we would advise.
on the inbounds. Out top, that first three is going to be short. Rebound controlled by the Hornets. And we're going to have a jump ball. Possession will stay with the Chariots.
So CHAP is buying themselves some possessions here. They can get a shot to go down.
Backdoor cut. Lucy Lotzenheiser erased by Vanderway. Under a minute to play. Ayers gets it over to Rodimer. Splits the defense. Gets past most of the CHAP players. That's going to be taken away by Reeser. Grihorash, and she's going to be fouled on a three-point attempt.
So if you are West Michigan, that is the one play that you do not want to do. Several rules. You don't ever foul a three-point shooter, and particularly this late in the game. Just let them shoot. You're still up 10 if she hits it with 37 seconds to play. You'll take those odds. But now West Michigan gets to put points on the board while the clock is stopped.
First free throw was no good. Second one is good for Lainey Grihorash.
We talked on this early in the broadcast. These teams have played multiple times this season. So it'd be interesting at some point to try to catch up with these coaches and ask what adjustments may have been made heading into this game. They know each other well at this point.
And that foul is going to be on Lotzenheiser. .1 seconds left, 12-point lead for West Michigan. We'll see if CHAP decides to foul with that big of a deficit. Vanderway up ahead. Ayers. And Ayers puts it in. My hypothetical question may be a moot point now. Three-pointer, Hitchcock, good. Turnover on the inbounds. Hitchcock's going to be fouled, shooting the two. 2.7 seconds left.
Had it not been for Rodimer in that first half, this second half has been neck and neck. I think we closed the half out a 9-point deficit. It may end up just the same, locked up in the second half. But Rodimer in those first half three-pointers really kind of opened that thing up. And CHAP just wasn't able to close that gap again coming out of that. It was a couple of those were momentum breakers.
Hitchcock no good on the first. Connects on the second. She's got 6 points here in the fourth quarter. 2.7 seconds left. Rodimer's going to inbound, and that's going to do it. The West Michigan Hornets are going to move back to the Final Four to face off against the HEA Firebirds tomorrow. On behalf of Thomas Sanders, my name is Paul Gilmore. We want to thank you for joining us on this broadcast and all of the action here at Springfield this week. Coming up next, we've got some boys 14 and under action. Make sure you stick around for that. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you on the next one.